low and warm and so very welcome. She spun about, and there he was, her Clay. Today, he was dressed to perfection as a proper gentleman. No shirt sleeves rolled back or a lack of a waistcoat. No, indeed. As she drank him in, she had to admit he looked every bit the Duke's son. And here, in the grandeur of the Brixton Manor entry hall, she felt, for the first time, the disparity of their situations. Not because he was illegitimate, but because he was the son of a wealthy and powerful man. Though her father was wealthy, the opulence of Brixton Manor was beyond anything he could dream of owning. Kingswood Hall was a mere shack in comparison. Her gaze clashed with Clay's. His the darkness, hers the light. She wished she could read the emotions hidden in their glittering depths. "Mr. Ludlow," she said stupidly, staring at him as if he were the first gentleman she had ever seen. He was not, of course, but he was the most beloved. "Why have you come?" he asked next, dashing her maudlin sentiments. The blood leached from her cheeks. Yes, this had been a mistake. Perhaps he had merely been entertaining himself with their interactions. Perhaps he had been bored, and she had been too forward, and she had forever made a fool of herself. Perhaps he had not wished to hurt her feelings, and so he had allowed her to believe there was something more. How wretched! How humiliating! But he had kissed her with such passion, as if he wished to steal her soul and hold it for ransom. Could she have been wrong? She struggled to form words. Now that she was here, standing before him, in her sodden skirts and ruined boots, her mind seemed to have taken its leave of her. She felt as inadequate as a discarded pair of stockings. "You said you would come to Kingswood Hall?" "Aye." He nodded, his jaw going rigid. "And so I did." She shook her head, frowning at him now. "No, you most assuredly did not." "I did and was denied." The insistence in his tone, the starkness of his expression, the firmness of his words, it all added up to one conclusion. He was telling the truth. But how could that possibly be? She had never received word of his visit. She had spent many an hour gazing out various windows, hoping she might catch sight of him, his horse, his carriage, anything to do with him. No, indeed, he had not come. She would have known. Wouldn't she? 3 days in a row, Lady Araminta, he confirmed coolly. I may be a bastard, but even I know when I have been made a fool. I chose not to return on the 4th day on account of my pride. 3 days. Her heart thumped and fluttered with a wild, silly hope. He had come calling upon her 3 days in a row. And then, just as abruptly, her hope died, for she realized if he had been turned away day after day, it could only mean one thing. Her mother had acted in her father's stead and refused to grant him entrance to Kingswood Hall, keeping it from her. Had it been the grudge he had with the Duke of Carlisle, or the fact that Clay was not the Duke's rightful heir? She did not know. Indeed, it rather startled her to imagine her mother had even engaged in this level of interference, and without uttering a word to her. Unless Clay was prevaricating. Yes, that had to be it. She seized upon the explanation. I had no word of a visitor, and believe me, I asked. I asked, and I watched, and I waited. Still you did not come for me as you swore you would. A strange expression transformed his features. He closed the distance between them, grabbing one of her hands in his. His hands, unlike hers, were ungloved, and the heat of his touch upon her absorbed into her skin, settling with the delicious ferocity of a brand. Their fingers tangled, intertwined. Just like that, she was where she longed to be. with him again,